This is very worrying for Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, seemingly because, of course, they've got their own version of events, as ever, as the ex-royals always have. And I think what's even more fascinating is this, you see, because when you remember all of the things, the sort of version of events that they've had, their secret wedding, their orchestrated reality, all of that sort of stuff, nobody's really refuted it. Nobody's ever really come out and said, no, that didn't happen. It was always like, oh, she forgot she'd assisted with the book of Finding Freedom. Everybody knows Meghan is an outright liar. You do not forget you assisted with a book. People were being kind at that point, particularly people in higher levels, simply because of the veneer of the royal family. Without that now to back both of them up, things are looking incredibly tricky. But more so, none more so, should I point out, than this particular man. That's right, the Archbishop of Canterbury, Justin Welby. Let me explain. Morning, good to see you. Thank you so much as ever for joining me. You all right today? Yes, I know I keep mentioning this, but I sort of have good bits of, what it's like with a cold. You feel good for about half an hour, then you feel like you just want to go back to bed, don't you? Hot water bottle, fall asleep, yes, old film on, that sort of stuff. Nothing wrong with that, let me tell you. I know, well, it's not easy, is it? But there you go. You just have to be grateful to be able to get up now, don't you? You get to that point where you think, well, at least I'm up. Nothing else, but I'm here, you know what I mean? Now, some people might say the same thing about Meghan and Harry because they've told so many lies over the years that nobody truly knows what the truth is. And, I've said before, it's their fault, why people don't take them seriously. Meghan has just an outright lied about things like that engagement interview with Michelle Hussein and the BBC. But why Michelle didn't really hit back harder, I don't understand. I would just say you're a liar. It didn't happen. You know it didn't happen. But the bigger problem now is this, because the Archbishop of Canterbury, based at Lambeth Palace in the heart of London, well, recently he tried to contact His Majesty the King, but apparently the King was too busy to deal with him, even though, of course, he was the mastermind behind the recent coronation. This is what happens when you're a disgraced person. And he's resigned in disgrace. You can dress it up any way you want. Justin Welby is resigning simply because of disgraceful behaviour. Not only that, he offended so many people about taking in migrants and, more importantly, repatriations and giving all of the money away to his whim simply because he felt they should. And then he wonders why people dislike him so much. But moving forward, this is where it's going to get interesting. Not only has he been wiped off the BBC schedule because he normally gives an annual address, not that that would matter given the BBC, of course, but now there are rumours that he's been offered a lot of money, as ever allegedly, for a book. And this is the reason why Meghan and Harry and her team are keeping a very much watchful eye on Justin Welby. You see, he didn't really like the fact that he was called out about that secret wedding. But more importantly, a lot of people are more fascinated by the baptism of course, Archie. We won't call him Prince Archie because he wasn't at that point. But the whole setup about that, the behind-the-scenes drama that truly went on. If he has to sell the book, it won't be about his disgraceful behaviour. It will be about the things like the coronation, the Queen's funeral, and of course, royal associations. Well, you might say, well, will he be tied down with NDAs? Amazingly, as the head of the church, no. So he is allowed to do that. And previous archbishops have written detailed essays and books in the past. Apparently, though, Meghan and Harry are more jittery about Justin Welby than anybody. And quite why that would be, well, remains to be seen. But as she pointed out on the Oprah Winfrey doco, well, yes, he performed a private ceremony. Remember, we were married in secret 2 days before that spectacle. He had to come out and point out that she must have been mistaken. According to a source this time around, he knows he will have to be far more forthright. And apparently without the shackles now of being, well, incumbent in what he was and having to resign in disgrace, all gloves are off. And this makes both Harry and Meghan, as I say, incredibly nervous. And maybe rightly so. Neil Sean, Kensington, London.